Hello everyone, I'm here today with a new process video and I am working on photos from Denver. So these are my Canva layouts, already done, printed. All I'm doing is embellishing these, and you can see I have journaling on both of them. And I planned this out, but I didn't do like 100% planning. So in hindsight, I wouldn't want these two next to each other when I have the journaling at the bottom of both of them, but it's the way it has worked out for how the album needs to go in order, and I've just decided it's fine. I'll be okay with it. But in hindsight, if I had spent a little bit more time planning, I would not have done it. I probably would have made this where the journaling was at the top, move this down, but it is what it is, and I don't care enough to redo it. So we're going with what's here. So on this side, I have the last of my commencement photos here. So I just really need to fill in these two blocks where I dropped digital paper in there. And then I'm thinking washi up here. This is too blank, and I purposely left room so I could do something. And I do think it's going to be washi with like maybe a little star or something. I don't think I have any graduation stuff left. Like, my kids have all graduated high school. I don't think I kept any little scraps or anything I had. I think I gave them away. So I think that's going to have to just be filled in with something else. And then over here, this one's kind of easy because it's food. It's food related, and I know I have food stuff. So for sure something in here, and I just kind of dropped in a gray digital paper, very non-distinct, so that it would match with everything. And I'm undecided if down here I want to do washi, or maybe I'll do a phrase label or something that's related to food, but that's probably all I'll do with these two. So when I was thinking about how to embellish this, I was originally thinking like, stars or something generic. And I remembered I had this bag of all of these like flat back buttons. These were all the rage for a while for embellishments. Does anybody still have these still in their stash? I do. Clearly I have all of these. Plus I have these three, and I've decided I'm using two of them for sure. I want to use this one with the glasses. I do wear glasses. Glasses are sometimes associated with being academic, so I figured that would probably fit well. And it says views. Hello. So I think I'm going to do that one here just to use it up. And silver/gray is kind of a neutral. I think it'll be fine. And then I have these two that happen to be a green that's not too far off from this and the plants that are in there. So I want to use one of these. I like this one that says Happy You, simply because I know those students were so happy to be graduating and to have successfully completed their college career. So I love that. It's definitely an option. But I also like this one that just says Love This. And I dig it that it also has this color in it, because it'll match some of what I've got going. I'm just a little worried about that though. Even though I say I like it, like, is it too much? Because this one seems to fit better when it's got the white. And I just realized something. I could do a visual triangle with all three of these. Is that too much though? I could, instead of doing washi, just like do this up here. It looks kind of nice actually to fill the space, I think. And I'm already making it bulky with these two, so it would actually almost even out the page to have some at the top and some at the bottom. Maybe I should just do all three. Now, some of these have adhesive. That one does. That one does not. This one does. Okay, I'm guessing these might be from the same set. I don't remember where I got these, if I'm honest. I really don't. But I'm guessing they came together. This one clearly not. But I can use glue dots. That's usually what I do when I use these. I just put them around the edge and then press down really hard, and that seems to be sufficient. So you know what? That's what I'm gonna do. I've just designed this entire page. I'm just gonna use all three of those and call it good. All right, this one is all done. Everything has dried. I did have to use glue on those because I thought the backs were adhesive, but like the sponge was there, but there was nothing tacky on it. So I'm not sure what happened there, if it just became uncovered or that's how they are. So I did use some monoliquid glue for those. This one got the glue dots, and they all appear to be sticking just fine. So that one's done. Now I'm moving on to this one, and I have all of my food stuff here ready to go. As I work on this layout, I do want to just kind of point out one thing or another thing about using Canva to do layouts. I do love it. However, if you're doing layouts without specific embellishments in mind, it can make things a little tricky. Here's an example. This is a very small space. It's also very tall and narrow. I'm having a little trouble finding embellishment things or pieces of ephemera that are going to fit in there because these are all either too tall or too wide. So I really need something that's tall and narrow, which isn't really a lot of what I have going here. So this is going to be a little bit of a challenge to find something that's going to fit in there. I accept that challenge, but just something to keep in mind if you're doing these Canva layouts, that perhaps, you know, it might be helpful to have maybe some of the things you would like to use for embellishments nearby, just so you can see like, hey, is that actually going to fit? Am I going to have a place for that? Because I really didn't do that here. I was just like, hey, this is the configuration I like, you know, works for the photos I have, so I'm going to do it. So maybe a little more pre-planning on the front end can save you some headaches on the back end. Okay, so I'm still struggling here. I pulled some stickers out because I might have an idea. So I was looking at these wood veneers like, oh, some of these are very tall and thin. Clearly I'm used the fork for something else because it's not here. So now I'm only left with a weird spoon and knife, which don't really go here. And then I thought, oh, this is the perfect size. I could use that, but it's right next to a very similar glass for my drink. And I don't like it. I mean, I can maybe put it here, but that sort of defeats the purpose. Like I wanted something for this space, so not happy with that. And then I thought, well, this was in the same package. I could still use that potentially, but it's awfully close to this, so not happy with that. So this has been kind of a struggle here. But I think because I've got black here in several places, I'm kind of gonna cop out because I said, you know, dinner date, and I was with my best friend who lives back home in Colorado, and then my goddaughter, that, you know, there was love there. So I think I'm going to just use one of these hearts, one of the black ones, and, you know, call it good. Probably this one's a little bit more elongated maybe, and just do it like that. Black is safe, it's a neutral. I see I have cat hair under there. Nice. There we go. So that certainly matches and is doable, but now I feel like I still need something else. It feels kind of blank. What do you think? Is it blank? I'm just thinking like maybe something here still, which I didn't do anything there yet, but I certainly could. I do have some of these out here. You can gather them. Just phrases and labels and things like that. So there might be a phrase in here that would be appropriate for that, so I'm going to look at that. If that doesn't work, then I have all of my generic travel phrases that I'm sure I could find something in there. All right, so I think I have found the phrase I'm going to use. I like this one. It says absolutely delish, which is quite accurate, and it's very, you know, yellowy gold, which there's some in the food here. I've got yellow happening in here, even like this is a little bit more tan, but there's still a yellow tint to it. I think it would be okay. And it livens up this bottom portion. Otherwise it feels kind of flat and boring to me. So this cuts up the wording nicely too, because not only does it have the yellowy color, it also has white writing. So it pulls in this and this. I think that's a good combo. So here's this one, all done in the page protector. I did put a mini staple in there. And now I'm going to go, since I have time here, I'm going to go and do this one that's on the back side of that. As you can see, I also have 2 spots with digital paper that I need to fill here. And then potentially I want something at the top. Little embellishment, piece of ephemera, something for up here to bring in these beautiful, bright, bold colors. Since I already have a little bit of bulk on this page, why not add a little more? I've grabbed out my bag of miscellaneous chipboard because like this, I knew there was going to be some brighter stuff in here. Ooh, that might work right there. We'll see. So I'm pulling all of these out just to see, can I make it like stick with this kind of wild theme that's happening? Like this one I like right here. That's probably too big though for anything I have going. But I'm going to look through all these and just see, is there anything in here that would work? Because not only do I want it to match, but I love using up things from my stash. I think I may have somewhat of a plan here. I want to use this one that says chaotic, because when you look at these patterns, they kind of look like that at first glance. I mean, they're all different types, they're going all different directions. That's actually what I love about it. But when you look at them closely, I mean, they do work together. Clearly, the artists knew what they were doing in putting all of these together. So I want to use that, but It doesn't really work with the way this is laid out right now. So what I think I'm going to do is maybe find a narrow strip of washi to put up here, and then I will layer this on top so it looks like the tab is on top of that line. That's my plan anyway. We'll see how it works out. I have picked out 3 washis that I'm contemplating with for this. This bad boy is so bright and sparkly, and it matches kind of that darker pink fuchsia that's in there. But I am concerned, is that too much? I love it, but is it too much? And then I have this one, which also sparkly, but it's a lot more subtle. It actually has little stars on it. But I like the green to kind of go with this, and what's in the wolf here to kind of like, you know, bring that in. And then I have this pink one, which is a similar color. It's more on this line here than this. This almost has a little purplish to it. And it's got a stripe. There are lots and lots of patterns happening here, but I actually think the stripe would not be bad. I think it might actually work with what I've got going. So I have to decide between those 3, and then I will layer on the chipboard. Ta-da! I decided to go with the stripe with the pink, and then I put this on, decided to look too blank, took it back off. It was very hard to get it off of here without the back ripping off. So I was able to do it, but what a challenge. And then I put a staple in it just to add a little aesthetic extra there, and put it back on. And so far it appears to be sticking fairly well. You can kind of see right there, like, yeah, the backing started to pull off, but I think it'll be okay. If eventually it were to fall off, I would just put some of the mono liquid adhesive on there and glue it down that way. But otherwise that part is done. So now all I have to do is fill in these areas. In my stash, I have 2 sets of these. I loved them so much that I ordered 2 because I knew I would use them, and they are kind of the perfect color palette for this. So I think I'm going to use probably the pink one over here on the green, and then on the pink I'll probably use the yellow. It's going to overlap it a little bit, but I actually don't care. I think that would look cool, so I'm going to use those. And there we have it. I have all of the pieces on here. I freaking love how bold and colorful this is. I think this one actually might end up being my favorite layout. So, but there's another 3 done for Denver. Thanks for watching.